Hello, welcome back to the Meryvn League podcast.
Hello.
We are back. Alf, John, Ash, how are we doing?
Very well, thanks, Ben.
Grand.
Good. Yes. Has Eurobug bitten you? Have you got the fever? Are you guys well and truly up and excited for each game? Got your wall charts? Alfie, I know you were keen for a wall chart last week.
Yeah, I haven't got a wall chart, but I have watched quite a lot of the, maybe not like whole matches, but I've seen quite a lot of football actually.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. Well, we're going to race through all the games that have happened so far. There's actually a game currently going on, and maybe we'll get our eyes on that at some point. But before we kick off, I think it's only right to start, Ash, with the opening ceremony. Opening ceremonies. What did you think?
What on earth was that? Normally, opening ceremonies are a chance for a nation to showcase something about the country. Maybe it's to show off how wealthy they are, big fireworks, some really expensive American pop star. But that was just AI-generated nonsense. It was absolutely nothing. I know opening ceremonies don't really matter, but that was pathetic.
Not a fan.
Absolutely. Couldn't they have at least got in, I don't know, Rita Ora, Zara Larsson, got David Guetta to press play on something?
Yeah. Also, it was so safe. It was so vanilla. It was straight down the middle. You're right. Yeah. Chat GPT.
What?
It didn't even, their clothes didn't even really match that much. They just, they have charity days where it's breast cancer awareness. Everyone come in wearing pink. That's basically, I think, what happened.
Tell you what it looked like.
This group of people wear green. I don't know.
It looked like a game. It looked like a game of Twister.
Oh,
yes, it did.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, John, what else caught your eye, but for the wrong reasons in this? Like, was dancing children with their flags? What was happening? I actually missed the opening ceremony, so I need a vivid picture.
Well, for me, it didn't do anything wrong. It just didn't do anything exciting or weird. I think of opening ceremonies as a bit weird, but it wasn't weird enough.
Okay. You
were
hoping for...
It was like 2-0.
You were hoping for like a human sculpture of the Brandenburg Gate, or like a human pyramid, I don't know, making the sort of Berlin Telecom Tower or something.
These are great ideas, much better than the organisers.
We should have been at that meeting, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Inflatable sausages, inflatable cheeses, that kind of thing. Beer steins, big beer steins. I don't know, lederhosen.
Yeah,
something.
Michael Ballack swinging in on a Frankfurter or something.
Yes, exactly.
Well, if it's opening ceremonies you want, the Olympics is coming up this summer, and they're always a good affair, aren't they? Well,
let's hope so.
Let's hope so for sure. Come on, Paris, pull your finger out. Let's park the opening ceremony and let's dive a little bit deeper and sink our teeth into the flavour of the tournament so far. What are the things that we've enjoyed so far? Alf, what's really caught your eye?
I think the fans have been very good. A lot of energy, a lot of noise. Some countries in particular, but I think most of the matches, all the ones I've seen at least, there's been a great atmosphere. So well done, Germany.
Yeah. John?
Well, yeah, I agree. I haven't seen an empty seat. Even in the
Eagle Eyes Malone over here.
Even in the they always have the fancy seats that need to be empty, like for a good chunk before and after half time. I haven't even noticed them, which is probably a good thing. No. I've seen a sea of colour. Oh, can we talk about the camera earthquake we had just in the game just now? That epitomises how good it's been. Shaking camera. But shaking camera not just as the goal went in, for a good 5 minutes afterwards.
Yeah. Do you think
the Turkish brought it hard?
Is the cameraman a fan, or do you think that's just the...
No, he has no control of that.
Energy.
That's happening to him, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I've... Just as we've talked about opening ceremonies in other places and other things, I'll tell you what I've enjoyed from the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup that's going on at the moment is the raw meter. I don't know if you saw this that they had for the India and Pakistan game when there was a wicket. It was telling you how loud it was. I feel like a lot of the the crowd here is very loud, particularly, and we'll come on to it later, but Romania, Ukraine, that I think was probably the best fan engagement I've seen so far this tournament. Oh, it was incredible. It was really good.
Yeah,
really good.
That was another stormer.
Ash, what about you? What have you noticed so far?
I think the main thing is the football has been really good. Been really pretty much every game has been exciting, end-to-end stuff. Not too many buses parked, which international football can be like that sometimes. So yeah, the football has been really good.
I'll tell you one thing. I think it's been good because, like we said, there is depth, and this tournament is as deep as the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
a fitting metaphor.
Yeah. Well, why don't we dive in to some of the results from the first game week or first few games of the tournament so far?
What was that? Oh yeah, okay. Where did we start?
So
Germany.
Group A kicked off Friday night. Germany and Scotland. Oh my goodness.
Oh baby, does this play into my narrative?
Yeah, John, you were Mystic Meg last week, and you will remind us what you said about Scotland. You weren't a fan.
No, and that was based off the warm-ups, which I thought you also couldn't really base it off. But then I think you can do the same thing with first round games. You can make of them what you will. You can put a lot of importance on them and say, wow, this team's played really well. They're straight out the gate. Or you can say, oh, they're rubbish. But ultimately, I don't think the first game's going to matter. Apart from in this instance where Germany are good.
I think that the first games that will matter are the third versus fourth place matches, where those have happened, like maybe Turkey, Georgia. Those are the ones that might actually count for something. But since so many teams are going through otherwise, you can afford to lose your first match and still get through easily.
Yes, you can. I totally agree. However, in something that is so tight as this, goal difference, it's like you can lose a game and still get through. But I think to lose a game and have a -4 goal difference is a tall order.
Doesn't help.
I think for this tournament, it's going by head-to-head first rather than goal difference.
Is it?
So I think goal difference doesn't actually matter that much in this tournament. It may come down to it if the head-to-head.
It might be a third place thing. Maybe third place might go by goal.
I did think that when Georgia threw the keeper up, I thought, I don't know.
Well, John Park.
Yeah,
I'd love to know more.
Goal difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's just very quickly let's race through these because there's quite a lot of games. There's lots of things, and there's one or two that we possibly want to major on. But I think just straight up, it was a great advert. The Euros have arrived. 5-1, had everything. Had a red card. We had an own, like all the goals were scored by one team, and it was very exciting. It was exactly what we wanted. Just any other quick thoughts from this one?
Yeah,
great
Tony
to see
Kroos
Andrew Robertson back.
Yeah.
Go on, John. Tony Kroos.
He did run the show in the end. I thought Musiala was obviously very good, and Kai Havertz, he did play and he makes them tick, doesn't he? Drops back, good hold-up play. He's very good defensively too. Makes good runs.
But also,
keep your eyes on him, everyone. Keep your eyes. Oh yeah,
Krug had a stunning shot. He just came on. He didn't get that long, but he looked the part.
And I think it's probably worth mentioning that last week we invented the Muller scale of how useful aging leadership players are, and he did make an appearance. Ash, what were your thoughts on Thomas Muller? Did he just come on and do some pointing, get people going, or did he actually?
Yeah, he did it well. He pointed well. The crowd lifted when he came on. It was another like, okay, now here's a bonus feature. We're already winning 4-1. Here's a little present at the end.
It's like when the director does a cameo in the film, isn't it? It was like one of those little moments. Like,
Stan Lee in Marvel. Yeah, lovely. Oh, well, it was a great game to start with.
Any thoughts from you, Ben?
Absolutely love that. I must admit, I was a little bit disappointed by Scotland. I must admit, I thought they would offer just a little bit more. However, losing a player, it was an awful tackle, like totally unnecessary. But I think losing a player just it's hard work, isn't it? And when you have,
I feel like it suits Scotland better though, playing with 10 men than 11. It's like they're sort of vibes.
William Wallace.
You got to have some adversity to overcome. You can't just 11 versus 11. It's not hard enough.
Yeah.
Maybe if they started with 10 men, they'd have won.
I don't think so, but I was disappointed. I was disappointed by Scotland, but I think their next game is Switzerland, and let's move on to
they
that.
look good.
But I think that's going to be hard. I still think they're going to get out of the group. I do think they'll beat Hungary. I think they'll get through as a best third place.
They need a draw, surely, though, against Switzerland.
Well,
don't you think?
Well, I don't know. What do we think about Switzerland? Because a 3-1 win against Hungary was very tasty. Ash, what stood out for you in that game in particular? You were saying how much you loved Hungarian football last week. You got the Plymouth Argyle connection. What happened?
To be honest, I don't think Hungary were that bad, but I think I just underestimated that Swiss team. Everywhere on the park, Switzerland were just good. I think going forward, Hungary weren't actually that bad. They did offer some threats, but defensively, that might be their weak point.
Yeah. John, talk to me about Switzerland. Last time I sort of made the comment that they turn up, they don't really do much. They're good, but meh.
Yeah, we underestimated them badly. They look good there with Akanji and Cher. They're two. I like them as centre backs. And then Xhaka, he is good, isn't he?
Yeah. I forgot how many sort of Premier League players or like used to be in the Premier League players there were in that side. I forgot how many of them I actually knew. But yeah, in that centre back pairing you mentioned midweek about, what a great confident ball playing strong pairing.
It's a lot of goals. Well, Cher always pops up with chances, or he seems to nearly score a lot, and he also scores a lot too.
Yeah,
not just with his head.
Also, I'm not sure what my favourite thing about Switzerland is, but the flag's a big plus.
Minimalist.
Moving on.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
It would be wrong of us not to give a shout out to Briel and Bolo with that amazing goal. It didn't quite realise that he'd had like a massive ACL injury, and I think someone on commentary sort of talked about him sort of shedding the strapping of that injury as he scored that goal. It was incredible. Yeah, and so much passion.
He could have tripped up on it, couldn't he? He could have tripped up on his
it just
brace.
I was a bit confused afterwards. I saw it on the floor, and I thought I didn't see that come off its leg, but he just took it in his stride, as they say.
Yeah, lovely finish.
Well, it wasn't the only piece of strapping or injury thing that ended up on the pitch at some point in this week, but we'll get onto that a bit later. So Group
I thought that was going to be an immediate segue. No, you've got me really excited.
I don't want to jump too far.
I think I know the one you mean.
Is this a long-term segue? Are you planting the seed now?
We'll come back to it and then we'll go.
Okay, we'll let it grow. We'll water it. We'll fertilise it.
So that first group looks like Germany, Switzerland, Hungary, and then Scotland. I must point out, just kind of indulge me, if you will, from a Bournemouth perspective, it was great to have Ryan Christie, Milos Kerkez in this group. However, both ran very well. They didn't do too much. Not their finest introduction to European football. Neither did Ilya
Not
Zabana
a good representation of what Bournemouth can do.
No.
Aki played quite well. Do you still claim Aki? You probably do.
Oh, we always clap him. He's always good when he comes back. So gives us a clap. So anyway, let's move on before I get sort of teary-eyed. Group B.
Group B.
Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania. The group of death. Big group. Two fascinating games. Ash, you highlighted last week a lot about Croatia aging but still being able to produce players. It's just appeared that none of those players seem to produce in this game. What happened?
I would actually slightly disagree with that. I think the score was actually a little bit flattering to Spain. Croatia weren't that bad. On another day, that could have been a different result. I think a lot of plaudits have gone to Spain because it's attractive. The youngsters, Yamal getting in that goal. But no, don't write off Croatia yet. They're not done. They're not done.
I think Spain were probably the standout team of the first round. Spain and Germany.
Yeah.
But I agree, Croatia didn't play that. A lot goes through Kovacic, doesn't it? That's what I noticed. He's a real driving force.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought Croatia created quite a lot and looked okay. But Spain were really good.
Yeah. Alfie, any thoughts on this one?
I'm looking forward to Croatia-Italy now. I think that the format has put a lot of pressure on that match because Croatia don't just have to go for second place. There is this third place thing that could happen. But if they lose to Italy as well on 0 points going into the last game, then they're in a tricky spot.
Yeah. Let's talk. We talked about sort of awful tackle, penalty, sending off from the first game. That was Germany-Scotland. This one, Rodri's tackle for the Croatia penalty, which was then, he was yellow carded, but it was then a penalty that was saved, scored in the follow-up. However, VAR ruled it out because there were players that encroached before the penalty took place. So in the end, it just turned into a tackle and a yellow card for Rodri. Was that genius? Was that a stroke of luck? Or was it... Or what else was it? Who wants to go in on this one? There's so
I'll
much
go
to
in on this
digest.
one.
Yeah, go on, Ash.
Yeah, that was absolute nonsense. I think actually the Croatian player tripped up himself. I don't quite know what was going on there. He should have just put it in the goal. I think what he was looking for was maybe to get Rodri sent off so that Spain would be down to 10 men, clear goal scoring opportunity, and then they get a goal back and in a much stronger position. I don't know if that's what he was trying, but I don't think there was actually that much contact at all. Not enough to bring him down in the way that he was.
It certainly looked like on some of the initial replays, like one or two angles, it looked like he really made a meal out of it, didn't it? And sort of
it looks like he got his studs into the ground, and I don't really know what was going on there.
I feel like it's a factor now, though, in post-VAR football that players are learning. I don't know if they're trained in it either, that if you feel the contact, you go down.
Yeah.
Because they think that's what VAR is going to look for, is their contact. So once you know there's contact, you can throw yourself down and VAR are just going to check, did he touch me or not? So I feel like that's very normal now. You see players in really good goal-scoring positions throwing themselves to the floor because, well, take the penalty.
It's almost as if a player doesn't need to do as much anymore because VAR will do the rest for them. Whereas actually, if he was possibly slightly more committed, he would have... I mean, the penalty was awarded. I mean, we're no journalists. We're not sat here with a rule book. But I think a few of us think it wasn't a penalty. So, was justice served? John, what do you think?
Yes.
Fab. Let's move on. Thanks, John. Italy, Albania. Have you got anything to say about this one, John?
Wait, rewind. I had other stuff going through my head. I thought we needed to talk about Lamine Yamal quickly.
Oh, okay, go on then, please.
Because it's the young gun. Surely it's the tournament of the young guns so far, and he is the youngest gun.
Yeah.
And boy,
Great
he
assist.
silky, isn't he? He's leggy, he's quick, he's silky. The ball sticks to his feet. He's got a lot going on. Good composure.
Yeah. It was a lovely delivery for Carvajal's goal, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Great, yeah. He was very exciting. More of the same, please. Italy.
Sorry, Albania. Albania. Well, I had high hopes for Albania. I mean, they made a great start.
Yeah, my first question is: did they peak too early, John? Have we already seen the best of them within the first 20 odd seconds? Fastest Euros goal?
No way.
No. Fight their corner.
No, they've got a moment in them. They've got a moment or two in them, I think.
I think they could beat Croatia. I think that's something that could happen.
There really is no bad team. I know we said it last time, but boy, is that true. Every team looks quite dangerous.
I did also enjoy Albania's defensive formation, which was a flat back six for much of that game. You could see it on the screen. It's not just like some sort of strategic analysis. You could just look at the pitch and there were 6 Albanian players in a line. And I don't think I've seen it quite like that before.
Yeah. Hoping that Jose Mourinho was watching and sort of saying, this is how it's done.
He was in the stands with Alex Ferguson, wasn't he, in the first game? Do you see that?
Oh, he was, yeah.
Sorry.
Obviously, David Moyes and Ole Gunnar didn't get the United reunion invites. Ash, I don't know if you saw...
been at the Austria match.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a bit busy. We'll let him off. Ash, don't know if you saw the antics before this game. There's been quite a lot of... We've talked about the fans and how they've really made it so far, but clashes... Are
you going to talk pasta?
Yeah, I am. Clashes between fans before this one. Albanian fans snapping spaghetti in front of Spalletti's Italian fans. I mean, what did we think of that?
Absolutely brutal. There's one thing I've learned from the internet is that Italians take pasta in all its forms very, very seriously.
Yeah.
And
that is not how you prepare it properly.
That is not how you prepare it. Exactly.
Criminal. Absolutely criminal. I gave Italy a bit of stick last week. I was like, I'm not convinced. I don't know where the goals are going to come from. I don't know what keeper situation is going to be like. For me, big question mark in this group. I predicted that they're not going to go through. That was my call. But they looked in control, even at 1-0 down. They looked really good. Was that because of the opposition?
Write them off at your peril.
Yeah, was that because of the opposition? Do we think, or do we think actually they are just a classy bunch?
I think Italy have always got players, but not many of them. It's rare they play in the Premier League, isn't it? Well, overall, I'd say. So I don't think they're as familiar to us. But for those Serie A heads out there, of which there are a lot, yeah, they've got some players.
And we talked about sort of composure, didn't we, in competition football? And I feel like that's what that was. They went 1-0 down instantly, but they didn't panic. They weren't worried. They just carried on with the game plan. Dominate possession, don't rush, be patient. Got the 2 goals and finished.
Lovely finish from Barella. Lovely finish.
We've had some nice sort of long-range efforts, haven't we, so far? But that one was lovely.
Clean.
So it's that group. Group B, so we've got Spain, Italy, and then Albania, and then Croatia in that order. So, Penne for the Croatians' thoughts. Let's move on.
All to play for.
All to play for. Let's move on to the big one. Group C. Group C. Group C. Oh,
that's where the advert was. Oh, sorry.
This is this was the big one. Sunday evening. Let's start there. Is this one of those? I was there when that happened, or was this a bit of a hiding behind the sofa moment? Ash, just sum up your initial thoughts. England, Serbia. 1-0 win. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did actually. And to be honest, I'm fairly happy with that performance. I think the tactics worked well. I think it's that composure thing that did scare everyone. I think everyone got deja vu. We've been here before when we've been 1-0 up against a weaker opposition. But I think there was more positives than negatives to take from that game. Bellingham was good, which that's
We
what
knew
we
already.
all hope really from the tournament.
Yep.
He's going to be the main man. At least he is doing something.
Yeah, great. John, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought Jude Bellingham was even more of the main man than I even expected. In fact, he was so much of a main man that he basically burnt out at half time. But that first half, he was like a matador. Yeah. It was all him. It was basically felt like he won the game.
Yeah.
And he was he was everywhere, wasn't he? He was deep, he was top, he was flying around a lot, he was getting tackled.
Talk us through the goal, John, because as we said, he did win us the game. Headed goal, but not just a headed goal, was it?
No, he launched himself into it. It was great work, first of all, by Walker and Saka's run, to be honest. I thought Saka was another stand-up in the first half, apart from defensively. Anyway, the goal, very good. Bit lucky with deflection, but
he just wanted it more, didn't he? I mean, he also ran into the box totally unmarked. He was completely free, but he just wanted it more. Reminiscent.
It's going to be him.
Yeah, reminiscent of like a Lampard or a Gerrard arriving late. But
he was. Yeah,
we're in the Henderson Muller territory here again.
No. Don't worry. We're not going to put Jude Bellingham in there. Alf, we've alluded to first half. England were purring. It was great. Sweet Caroline was like already filtering through people's memories. But what happened in the second half?
Well, like Ash said, it felt a bit familiar. Then everything was fine. All the halftime analysis was, this is going great. England doing everything right. A little question mark with Phil Foden, but otherwise everything's exactly as it should be. And then we came out for the second half, sat deep, and gave Serbia the opportunity to attack. They didn't take their opportunities. Match finished 1-0, but that for me is worrying if it was a better team than Serbia. And we've seen other top teams do this as well. They get their goal, they sit back and they let the other team attack. And I feel like before you sit back like that, you should have at least 2 goals. Have that cushion. Don't leave it for 85th minute corner and suddenly it's a draw.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, for me, that was a bit of a worry. Not just that it happened.
No, I was going to say, do you think we played for the result? We had the goal. We're like, let's just not lose it.
Yeah, and I think there was a fear element as well. I think Serbia came out from half-time with a lot more energy and a bit more determination, and that worried the England team. They sat back, nervous, and then also worried Southgate. When you look at the changes that he made, he didn't, even though England were lacking possession, he didn't bring on the players that you think would increase England's possession. He brought on players that he thought would help us defend the goal. Particularly Gallagher, but also Bowen instead of Cole Palmer or Anthony Gordon, the sort of aggressive players that could have changed the momentum and put England back on top. Instead, he chose to stay in that position and chose players that are going to help us just defend the goal. And for me, again, 1-0 up is too early to be. I mean, Erik ten Hag does it a lot, and it always worries me. You get 1-0 up, and then he's bringing on defensive midfielders like there's no tomorrow. And I feel like when you've got Cole Palmer sat on the bench, Anthony Gordon, for example, Foden for Gordon instead, you just use Gordon's pace as an outlet, get the ball down the other end of the pitch, see if we can pick up another goal. I feel like would have been a much more positive and not a controversial thing to do either. It would have felt very natural. So for me, a bit of a worry there. It's okay against Serbia, but I don't want to see us 1-0 up, sat back, conceding corners and inviting the pressure.
John, you talked about...
How did you feel about it, Ben?
Oh, yeah. I didn't enjoy it. I was nervous, pleased that we got the goal, but I think similarly I was anticipating pressure, inviting pressure, and it just made me a bit nervous. I think, honestly, I think it felt like got to 1-0, got to half-time, great. let's game manage. And I think when you're game managing for 45 minutes, that's a lot. And particularly pressure.
Do you think we're stripping Serbia a bit of agency here? Did they play well?
Well, they certainly did in the second half. I think
Did they get themselves back into it too? Did England weather the storm and get away with victory? That's the other way of spinning it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think I was personally surprised that they took Mitrovic off so soon because he's such a bully. And I'm sure I don't know why he came off early. It was tactical or for injury, I don't know. But I was surprised he didn't do more. Also surprised that Vlahovic didn't do more. So obviously,
Tadic was the game changer, really, wasn't he? For Serbia, and the fact that they left him out at the start, I think, was controversial among Serbians. But I think that was because they wanted to play more defensively, and then when they went the goal down, they switched to a more attacking setup, and that worked for them. Yeah. I mean, they had the vast majority of the attack and the momentum in the second half. So fair play, Serbians. Also, fair play, England's defence, which I think from most people has been pointed out as the weakness in this England team. But clean sheet, tricky team. Everyone was saying this is a tricky opponent, but came out with a clean sheet.
Yeah, Ash, I wanted to come to you on this because we were sort of all texting as the game was going on, and we were saying, clean sheet, great. Is that actually the better result? Our defence hasn't conceded; it's done very well. But Jordan Pickford, how do you feel about Jordan Pickford? Is he too erratic? Can we feel calm with him in the post?
So just to be very clear, I think just to be very clear, Jordan Pickford is our number one. He's a good goalkeeper.
Yeah,
it's just the way he shouts and flaps around. They might defend something and it goes out for a throw in or corner, and he's shouting at the defence. Everything's fine. Nothing bad was happening in that game. We were 1-0 up. Yeah. I think the big teams, their goalkeepers are not flapping around when they're 1-0 up. And I just can't imagine if you're in that defence, you've got someone just screaming behind you that's going to instill that confidence and relaxed feel that they need. You look at Jude Bellingham on the bench when we won up, he was chilled out. He was laughing with his teammates. Yeah, that's the kind of attitude we need.
Him and Trent have got a real bromance going on. Have you noticed that bromance?
Yeah, that's nice.
But they didn't look nervous, did they? They were just sat there having a good time.
Especially
because he needs to enjoy it. They're 1-0 up. That's where he needs to be having fun. And
that's how he enjoys it, though, isn't it? That's how he enjoys it.
It annoys me because I think
waving his arms.
I just feel like that kind of energy can easily spread throughout the rest of the players. And
but it didn't. Mark Gurhey, he was calm.
It didn't, but it could when it's a real crunch match.
Yeah, my wife doesn't watch a lot of football, but she recognises Pickford now.
Say that again.
If she watches the England match, she's like, "Oh yeah, that's that goal. That's that crazy goalkeeper, isn't it?"
I mean, to his credit, to Pickford's credit, he didn't have a huge amount to do. When he
he should be
when he was called upon, he delivered. But do you think it's just like a bit of blood rushing to the head, and he's like, "Oh yeah,
we don't need that. We need people to be calm. We're winning 1-0.
I think that's what
life's good.
Like when he is calm."
Yeah, but David James always looked calm, but then it wasn't calm.
Yeah. I mean, there is the false calmness, but I don't know. It's for me, it's a very small team mentality that kind of erratic, last ditch defending. It's Everton, and we don't need Everton. We need Real Madrid. We need Man City.
He's very familiar with.
He's better than that. He's a good goalkeeper. I'm not disputing his abilities as a goalkeeper. Just come on, man, calm down.
Just in case he happens to chance upon this podcast, I do want to come out and just say he did make some excellent comments though at the end of the game when he was being interviewed, and people saying like, "Oh, great, well done, like clean sheet, done, excellent job, you were called upon." And he was like, "No, it's not just me. There's 10 men in front of me who've made this happen." And he was very good. So
he didn't try and take all the credit for the win. Yeah, very humble.
No. But I think
he's a good guy.
Easy, just like, oh yeah, I did what I needed to do. It's all about being in the moment. But he was I just thought it was very good because he is one of the more senior players in that squad, and I think he recognised,
exactly,
it's going to take a team to win this. Yes, we've got great individuals. Yes, I did something, but anyway. So Jordan Pickford, just calm down, but well done.
Chill, just calm down, mate.
Before we sort of leave this game, I did want to say, John, you talked about Saka, one of the sort of stand-up performers for you in this game. Came up with the assist, got substituted. Possibly didn't necessarily need to be, but could be just kind of managing his workload and things.
He never gets subbed for Arsenal. Never. So, yeah.
Are you surprised that he was taken off, having been influential in the game, when players like Foden stayed on, who largely, it seems, has been a bit of a question mark as to what did he do in that? What were your thoughts?
Perhaps. I don't know. Perhaps. Maybe I don't know.
I think that Southgate left Foden on because he wanted Foden to make some sort of positive impact for the sake of the tournament. He wanted to sort of show that Foden's good, both to the team and to the fans. And so he left him on in the hope that something would happen. I can't see any logic in taking Saka off instead of Foden at that point in the game. I really think it didn't help either because we had no outlet then. Foden wasn't really offering any way out, whereas instead of Saka for Bowen, if you look at Foden for Gordon, that ball over the top, that out ball suddenly becomes much more threatening and puts that question mark in Serbia's mind. So I think really he stayed on because Southgate was hoping for something. I don't think there was any reason to take Saka off at all.
Yeah. Last point on this one. Ash, do you think we're going to go forward with Trent in midfield? Do you think we'll see many changes to this in the next game?
No, to be honest, I think tactically, I quite liked it. I quite liked the setup. When the first 20 minutes, that was very effective. I wouldn't change it personally. Yeah. I like Trent in there.
Great. Well, England get their tournament off with a win. Two outside things I want to pull out from this game. Number one, West Midlands Zoo. They set up, as they have done throughout multiple tournaments apparently. We'll all remember Paul the Octopus and other animals that guess the predictions for scores. Who's going to win, etc. Well, West Midlands Zoo, they put the question who was going to win this game to their Pride of Lions, and the Lions predicted that England would lose. So thank goodness that the Lions aren't into match fixing, but also it came out afterwards that the Lions have always gotten it wrong. So inevitably, as you pointed out earlier, John, they always get it right. If it's
you want consistency with your predictions, don't you?
Yeah. So West Midlands Zoo, keep it up. We'll be looking for the next match. I want to see what they say. But the other thing as well I wanted to pull out was...
How many Lions? 3 or more or less?
Pass. I saw a photo with 2, but I can't be a reliable source for the size of West Midlands Zoo or their lion pride. But West Midlands Zoo, keep it up. If you're listening, we'd love to get you all the lions on the pod. I'd like to think it was 3 lions because otherwise the whole England thing doesn't work. The other thing I want to pick out is the one fan. Did anybody see this on social media? A fan got locked into the stadium and woke up at like 4 a.m. with nobody else about. And he woke up and he's like shivering and he's like, "Oh, I've just woken up 4 a.m. in Schalke Stadium." And then it stops. So I don't know what happened to that guy.
So where is he from then?
The UK. But I mean, he obviously enjoyed the game. But I hope he's all right.
North of Watford, by the sound of it.
Yeah. The other game in Group C, Slovenia, Denmark. John, Slovenia, your team. the team that you were waxing lyrical about.
Yeah, well, solid.
Yeah, tell me more.
Well, I didn't actually see it.
Oh, right. Well,
I saw parts of it.
Who had eyes on this game?
I did see parts
I watched half of it, I think.
Yeah.
No, I did see a bit because I remember seeing a bit of Sheshko.
Yeah.
He looks dynamic. He looks ready for it. Looks like an athlete, as I knew he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Good player, good start for the mighty sporting pedigree nation of Slovenia.
Ash, you're Alfie, you're based not in the UK. You're over in a neighbouring country to
which is close
Denmark.
enough.
What's the feel like where you are with your neighbours? Some of your sort of Scandinavian neighbours. Are people cheering for them? Are people not bothered?
Yeah, people will cheer for Denmark, but also I think there is a very significant interest in English football here.
Yeah.
So the people I've spoken to have spoken to me about England, which isn't strange, but it also indicates that they're very interested in the English team.
Yeah.
They had concerns about England's defence.
It's very kind of them.
As have we all. But yeah, so England-Denmark match, I'm not sure which way people will side, but otherwise I think those would be the two favourite teams.
Lovely.
From here.
Lovely.
Especially since no one else managed to qualify.
Well, let's move on. That was Group C, so that's England sitting in the lofty heights of first place.
Sitting pretty.
Win. Sitting pretty.
It's huge, really. 3 points is massive if 3 teams go through from the group. You only need 1 or obviously 3 or more points from the next 2 games and should be fine.
Well, we've got Denmark next. We've not really said anything about them other than Christian Eriksen looked good. He looked like Christian Eriksen of Brentford days and some of his Tottenham days. Unfortunately, not his United days. But it'll be interesting. As we've said, a lot of Premiership interest in that team. It'll be interesting just to see how that
Eriksen played a lot further forwards in this Denmark team than he does for United, almost as like a 10. And I'm not sure that he'll do that against England.
Yeah.
I think they maybe took more attacking liberties in this first match than they'll be planning to in the next match. So it'll be interesting to see if they stick with that or not. Because I think it was nice watching Eriksen with the freedom to just go around and try and make passes. But I'm not sure if that's going to be the same plan against the stronger teams.
Group D, Netherlands, Poland, Austria, France. Quite another challenging, sticky group. Netherlands, Poland faced each other first. 2-1 Netherlands win. I didn't see this one.
Me neither.
Highlights.
Didn't see it.
No, none of us did. Well,
not an interesting result either, is it, really?
Well
Cody
done,
Gakpo, was he good? Gakpo's usually good for the Netherlands. We'll assume it was a win.
The biggest thing...
Wout Weghorst.
Yeah. These are all players who
Scored
play
the winning
for
goal, didn't
the Netherlands. I think the only thing I can sort of make of note is the headband of what's his name? Memphis Depay. He's been wearing like an NBA style headband.
That's pretty cool.
With something on there and he's written on there like "I don't care" or something to that effect, which has brought up a lot of interest because he wore it back in an international game a while ago, and people sort of said, "Oh, what's that about?" And he was like, "Oh, I just don't care." And so he's now written that on his headband, something like that. Don't
now I really know more about it. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm going to Google that
anyway.
soon.
Well, Netherlands won 2-1. Good job, them. Austria, France. We had some more fan clashes before this game. We had Austrian fans breaking baguettes. Sacre bleu. But it was all good for France in the end. They had the last laugh. Ash,
Didn't cause them too much pain.
But they must have been croissant though, a little bit croissant.
Yeah. Well, so you talk about croissants. I heard somewhere this morning that the reason it was a baguette over a croissant is because the croissant was originally invented in Austria and was first introduced to the French from a Viennese bakery in Paris. So that's where, and they loved it so much they sort of then developed it. But it's originally Austrian, so...
I hope you've got some good sources for that, because our French listening market is going to plummet.
Well, to be fair, I wouldn't put sauces with a croissant, but or maybe a bit of a sort of.
I'll give you that.
Maybe a bit of conserve, but why don't we?
You can cancel that holiday to France, John. They won't let you.
I'm not going anymore.
Won't leave
But Ashley, France won, Austria 0. France strong favourites. Did they play like favourites?
Yeah, there's so much energy in that team. I know it wasn't a vintage France performance, but they're just so rapid on the counter attack. And N'Golo Kante's back as well, and that's something to behold.
Yeah, lovely to see.
Yeah, it's good to see that Saudi is not killing all these players off. You know what I mean? They're actually turns out you can still be a good player and go to Saudi.
Get Jordan Henderson in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
also, the French players got beat up a bit.
did.
Griezmann got his head smashed against the advertising boards, and Mbappe broke his nose.
He's going to be playing in a mask. Like Osherman.
And Griezmann bleeding from the head, given a good old-fashioned sort of mummy bandage around the top there.
Was it Terry Butcher?
Good stuff.
Was it the England?
Yeah. Stayed on him for about 30 seconds.
He's gone through a lot of haircuts, Griezmann, and I particularly like the current one.
Yeah.
We can't discuss that, though, without the thread that you started earlier.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah. Well done, Ash. The long game has been completed. Griezmann, as you say, Alf, his headwear lasted a couple of seconds, and he just left it. He thought, "I'm not picking that up.
Yeah.
I'm just going to."
They showed him looking at it, going over, looking at it, going, "Oh, that's my bloodied bandage."
Yeah,
and then he walked off. I could see it on the pitch. I was just thinking, someone has to at some point take that off the pitch, but is someone going to have to go and get Griezmann's medical waste and throw it away for him?
Be making the rounds on eBay somewhere.
This is why the French are demanding change. We shouldn't go down that avenue, but I did want to. There is a bit of background going on. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about the background, but all things considered, it's good performance by France in light of Mbappe's comments, etc., etc.
Yeah, you make a couple of just sweeping statements, and you're like, "But I'm not going to talk about it. Leave that for the listener."
Yeah, I don't know what these comments are.
Well, they got an election coming up, haven't they? And, Mbappe spoke quite passionately.
He did.
Against.
Well,
extremes.
let's leave the politics on the field. This is a tricky game for France for them to sort of navigate.
Can we? No, I won't bring it back.
I was going to say, well, the Netherlands have already defied the Poles, and but no, Austria. They put up a really good fight.
Yeah,
they
not Poland.
I know, but Poland's the other team in this, and we took politics, Poles.
He's doing a sort of electoral joke.
Yeah,
I know, but then I tried to make it.
Yeah,
I'm being too. Yeah,
that's all right.
It's good stuff, though.
It's all content.
Graham Pole.
Austria gave it a really, really good go. I was really impressed with them, and I was amazed they didn't get more from it.
It's rare to see club tactics coming into international football, isn't it? Like they have a defined style that they brought to a game, and
high energy, wasn't it?
The Gegenpress.
Ash, do you think France?
But I feel like France have got gears. They've got gears.
Yeah,
that was them in first gear. If Austria scored, they probably would have stepped it up. You feel like they weren't worried really, even if they were.
I agree. And I think they maybe also recognised Austria's energy levels and just let them go for it. Let them run around like that for 70 plus minutes, and then if you need a couple of goals at the end, then just go and grab them.
It's slightly unfair, the amount of depth and all the quality of depth that France have. The players that they were able to bring on that were so complementary to the rest of the team that was already out there. It's amazing. I think they'll still go really far. They're going to do really, really well. They are my workplace sweepstake team. So I sort of went in.
You lucky boy.
I went in this morning and was like, I didn't want to say anything because it wasn't an emphatic win. But I was like, yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Who chose the teams? Who was pulling the names out of the hat there, Ben? I'm not accusing you of anything.
We didn't have like Paul Merson and a velvet bag or anything, but it was just another colleague that did that. So thanks, Yaz. So that's that was Group D. Let's have a look at Group E. Group E. Oh my goodness, this possibly had my favourite game of the first round, and that was, of course, Romania-Ukraine. Did anybody manage to get eyes on this one? It was colourful. It was noisy. Some fantastic goals. It felt like it's why you loved football. It wasn't anything big or flashy. It was just passion and energy.
I saw the Stanchu goal from the captain.
Woof. It was so good.
Woof. Big
Lovely. Couple of things to pull out from this one. This was Romania's second ever Euros win. Do you know what their first win, or who their first win was against? Yeah, England.
England, Euro 2000. Yeah.
The wink.
Amazing. The wink, yeah.
Yeah.
with the Rosario. But it was a great one. And beautiful scenes at the beginning, Ukraine coming out, each player draped in a Ukrainian flag. Really, really touching, moving moments.
Also, I backed Romania to get out this group. I thought they were going to ruffle some feathers. I thought this was on the cards.
Good call.
I'm pleased that the only call I made has come good.
Yeah,
Well,
it was great.
They had the megaphone out at the end, whipping up the crowd. You see that?
Yeah.
Bundesliga style.
Yeah. Just waiting for some sort of Arsenal-style celebration police to come and poo-poo their parade because it's only a first group game win. But you just loved to see that. That was amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah, lap it up. Enjoy it. It's there to be enjoyed.
Ash, let's come to you. The other game in this group, Belgium-Slovakia.
Yes.
Where do we start with this one?
Commiserations to Romelu Lukaku. I feel so bad for him. He does everything right. He's always in the right position. He's always, I don't know. He's cursed.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
The 2 goals disallowed, very marginal. The second one with the handball. I'm trying to remember who the Belgian player was who got the handball against him, and they got the snicko out as well for that one.
First
so
goal.
Good to see a bit of cricket technology in there.
Yeah.
But a disappointing result from it though. I just feel
we
bad
also
for
just
Lukaku.
mentioned on the snicko thing.
Yep.
I saw that you guys had mentioned it, and then when I watched the highlights, you can just see that the ball bounces off his hand.
There is that too.
It just comes in at one angle and goes off at another.
I'll tell you what, that's re-refereeing at its worst. Normally cared, real time.
Yeah.
Is anybody enjoying the additional stats of the how many rotations the ball has taken when a goal is scored? They're doing
I saw that today. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just.
But I don't have a reference point for that.
It's just a big, I think, for the for the IT team who've put this together. Well done.
It's probably Hawkeye have sold them a product, and now ITV feel bad, or whoever, UEFA, they feel like they have to use that technology.
It's innovation.
They paid for it now. So they have to get their money's worth.
Well, we had for a period of time. Do you remember the linesman who would be on like the goal line for like penalties and things?
Oh, yeah.
Certain European. Is the next step a third umpire? Are we nearly at umpire's call with like snickometers and things like this? Are we sort of?
Well, we've got surely VAR is the third umpire. No.
Discuss. So Belgium, Slovakia. Belgium in a really, really sticky place here. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that they will get out.
Yeah, but it's a long
Luckily
way
for
to
them,
go,
they're in
isn't
the
it?
easiest group, aren't they?
They are.
I think there's a long way to go. No teams out, are they?
No.
No teams in, no teams out.
Let's move on. Final group. Group F. Group F.
Check the scores then.
Well, the game that's happened earlier is Turkey-Georgia.
That was a great game.
Last tournament as in the World Cup. Dark horses Turkey.
It's a draw, John.
Yeah, let's do Turkey-Georgia first. Let's do that one, and then we'll get some quick eyes.
Game of the tournament.
Game of the tournament.
Fantastic game.
Tell me why.
Well, probably the Turkish fans, but also the game. Also, the fact that the rain beforehand. Now, football in the rain sometimes has a real epicness to it. That added to it.
And reminiscent of Old Trafford.
They felt there was so much on it, didn't they? It did feel like a quarter final. I think they said that in commentary.
Yeah, it was very, very dramatic. Also, we talked in the first episode about Turkish fans in Germany also, and we got to see it, and we weren't wrong to mention that because it was incredible, the Turkish support. The stadium was packed full, and it was full level shouting for the entire 90 minutes, basically. And then that third goal, the place just erupted. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, I'll get the raw-ometer back for that one. Ash, Georgia, are they gonna make any waves in this one?
Well, they made waves in this game without winning. They were quite entertaining to watch. In that midfield, they moved the ball quickly, breaking through those Turkish lines, Turkish Airlines, very well.
We are globally yours.
Yeah, they were. They were very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Yeah, they were.
Another day
could
have been a different result.
I really liked the way they tried to play out, not just like pass it around at the back, but when they got the ball, they were turning and looking to take players on, looking for 1-2s, looking to play quickly, and it made for a very entertaining match. And I think they produced quite a lot of. I mean, they had a great chance towards the end, hit the crossbar, and then even after that had another chance. So it could easily have been suddenly 2-1 there. I really enjoyed Georgia. Really enjoyed their performance, but also Turkey deserved.
Shout out to Arda Güler, I suppose.
Yeah, what a goal!
Yeah.
Real Madrid have got the world at their feet, have they not?
Yeah. Is that goal of the tournament? Is that goal of the first round so far?
Yes. I know he had a lot of space in front of him. It wasn't like he had time to take those two long steps, but he absolutely whipped it in.
Yeah, you've still got to do it.
It was very aesthetically appealing.
But this is
even
recency
if it wasn't
bias.
the best goal.
Because I've just seen it. There might have been other ones, good ones that I've forgotten.
No, I think it.
But because that was the most recent one, then that's a good one.
It was very, very tasty.
Yeah.
Well,
The best I've seen in the last couple of hours.
yeah. Today.
Yeah.
Today.
To be fair, there was another good Turkey goal.
Yeah, the first one was nice as well.
The first one was a very good finish. Arguably a better finish in context, but just didn't look as nice.
Well, Justin
Longer
Bieber,
ago as well.
Justin Bieber gets his peaches down in Georgia, but he might want to pick up some turkeys next time because that was a fantastic game. Portugal, Czech Republic.
What? Georgia?
Isn't that a reference for the youth?
That's
The kids?
Gets his
Go
peaches.
listen. It was either that or a Super Mario one. Isn't that his song? Gets his peaches down in Georgia. I hope so. Otherwise,
Mate.
we'll clip that. Portugal, Czech Republic. Who can give me a quick score update on that one? That's happening right now.
I saw 1-1 just after
1-1.
John said that Czechia were winning.
Oh, yeah.
Own goal.
Well, who are the scorers? Who have we got?
Well, we've got an own goal.
Oh, lovely. So it was Czech Republic 1-0 up, and then Portugal 1-0. Own goal. So
For the listener, of
that
course,
game will
this will
be
be all pretty,
Oh, Portugal have 76% possession.
very nice.
16 shots compared to 3.
Lovely. Well,
That's not the stats that matter.
Exactly. There's only one.
By the time this comes out...
It depends where the broadcaster puts it. It's usually the top left.
Yeah. And by the time this comes out, that game will have concluded. Congratulations to the winners, commiseration to the losers, and we'll have had other games as well.
Should we record some like bits that you can use? Like, oh, I can't believe Ronaldo scored 4 goals in stoppage time.
Yeah.
It's worrying for Czechia. Very worrying.
Yeah. Well, I thought we could finish off this episode with a bit of a game. And I thought it might be quite nice as we go through this. Why don't we have our own little competition as we do this? And so I thought we could play a little Who Am I? I've got one for each of you. And I've got 3 clues. If you can guess the player from the first clue I give you, you get 3 points. If you guess it from the second one, 2 points. If you guess it from the third one, you get 1 point. Okay, so I've gone for 3 players who have featured in a Euros competition. And these ones are slightly more recent. These are players that hopefully we will know. But
I wouldn't count on it. But
well, let's find out. Who would like to go for that? We could just do total random. In fact, I'm going to go with Ash first. I'm going to go from what I can see in front of me. So, Ash, you're going to go first. Okay, so...
Okay.
Good luck, Ashley.
Ash, who am I?
Thank you very much.
I've scored in a Euros final.
Would you like me to make a guess already?
If you feel confident, yeah. If you'd like another
I'm going to say... I'm really struggling to think of anyone who actually scored in the final.
Bear in mind, these are relatively...
Did Jorginho score in the last one? Jorginho?
It's not the name that's in front of me. So shall I go for the next clue?
Yeah, please.
He needs the next clue. He needs it. I'm telling you now. So
I've scored in a Euros final, and I wear red for my club team.
Oh, Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw it is. 2 points to Ashley Taylor.
Well done.
He normally wears
Shaw.
a bib these days.
For sure.
Luke Shaw.
I could have got the 3 points there, actually, thinking about it. But there you go.
John.
Yes,
go for you next. John, please.
Who are you?
Who am I? My first Euros was Euro 2004.
You get from that, John?
Ronaldo.
And that's correct.
The wink.
It is Ronaldo. 3 points to John.
Come on, in the bag.
So the next ones was his next clues were, and I was an injured winner in 2016, and I've played in 6 Euros tournaments. But he got it from that first Euros 2004. John.
Good.
Yeah, raise the bar next time.
Yeah.
Are those two going to get United players, and I'm going to get some...
I appreciate you starting.
Wolves player.
Well, Alfie, who am I? My only Euros appearance came in Euro 2016. So think of teams that... Nope.
Oh, I've got a guess.
Zlatan?
I've got a guess.
Zlatan.
It's not Zlatan. Would you like another clue?
Absolutely.
I famously scored against Belgium in a 3-1 quarter-final win. Or the other two are confident. Either that or
has he got
Churchill nodding dog syndrome.
I might be wrong, but has it got anything to do with turmeric? I'll come back to that.
There's hold on to that thought. Would you like another clue, Alfie?
My
only Euros
chuck in a guess at this stage. Mandzukic? Is that how it is?
Mandzukic? No, it's not.
Yeah.
This is your last clue.
Okay.
My double-barreled surname is shared in part with an Arsenal legend.
The King.
No, nothing.
Wait, hold on.
Pardon?
Hold on a minute. No.
Nope.
Nothing.
Who wants to come in on this one?
Ronaldo, Luke Shaw.
It was
It's
Hal
definitely harder
Robson
than that one.
Carnu.
Robson Carnu.
Hal Robson
With the Cruyff turn,
Carnu.
he took out the half of the Belgian team with that goal. That's one of the best goals you'll ever see.
Go and look that one up.
That's the best Cruyff turn you'll ever see.
Yeah.
But also, he's bringing out a turmeric shot drink.
Really?
Yeah.
He went to Twyford, I think.
Did he?
Yeah, he's born in Acton because I Wikipedia'd him earlier. I mean, it was lucky that I just, yeah.
Wow, there you go.
How did you hear about his turmeric business?
I'm not sure. I think it was either after Googling him or after someone talked about Cruyff turns and they talked about his Cruyff turn.
No.
And I watched that goal.
Yeah.
So it's very fortunate, really.
I remember where I was specifically for that goal. I was in a resort in France, like some kind of really weird golf resort, France. That in the bar, watching it with like 3 other Belgians, and they were not happy. But it was we were there for a wedding, but it was, I mean, one of those that's like etched in my mind. I can just so vividly picture that goal. But anyway, so the scores, the first round. So John sits at the top of the tree with 3, Ash with 2, and Alfie bringing up the rear with 0 points so far.
Don't worry, mate. It's only the first
next
round.
Time, we'll have some more next time.
Can I go first next
you
time?
Go first. We'll reverse the order next time. But that was Who Am I? So, yeah, great first round. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. Insert fat audience clapping here. And on that note, we will say Auf Wiedersehen for episode number 2. Guys, thanks so much. Keep your eyes peeled. You can catch this podcast, Apple, Spotify, all the places. We're also on YouTube. Please search for us, Meryvn League Podcasts. Guys, have a great week. Keep up the good work, and come on, England. Come on, England.
Come on, England.
Come on, the 3 lines.
Yeah. See you next time.
It's coming.